Hi, it's Adrian here from North Wave Engineering. If you are considering fitting electric vehicle chargers on your commercial site, then there are 5 key things that you will need to consider before you go ahead with it. First of all, do you have capacity on your electricity supply to put in the extra loads that the electric vehicle chargers will bring? To work that out, the best way to do it is to speak to your installer. They will look at your bills, they will look at the way that your site is set up, they will look at where you use your loads mainly, whether it's during the day, over weekends, in the evenings, and they'll be able to ascertain whether there's capacity there. The second thing you'll need to do is you will need to get permission from whoever supplies or distributes the electricity to your area. So that isn't your electricity supplier, it's not the person you pay the bills to, but it is whoever deals with the connections, which in this area is National Grid. And you'll need to ask them, put in an application to them to see whether you can have the extra loads fitted. The reason for that is they need to work out whether the supply coming to your premises has got enough capacity and the cables can handle the extra loads that will be there. So your installer, or if it was us, we would do this for you. We can put that application in, and then once that's confirmed, then you're ready to go. But in order to do that, you will need to have decided what sort of charges you're putting in place. So that brings in the next thing is where you're going to put them. Here we've got them post mounted. You can make them wall mounted if you want to, but you'll need to make sure that you've got enough space for these chargers. There are requirements around where they're mounted in terms of heights and in terms of position in relation to the vehicle and the charging and the parking space to make sure that they're fit for purpose. So you can't just put them anywhere, they've got to be in a logical place. So your installer again will be able to advise you on this. If there are other regulations there in terms of needing to put up barriers so that people can't run over the charging points, then your installer will advise you about that as well. Fourth thing you need to look at is whether you want a tethered system or an untethered system. It's really simple. Tethered means that it's already got the charging cable attached to the charger. Untethered is like this system here, where there's no cable. The person who wants to come and charge their car takes the cable out of their vehicle and plugs it in and then takes it away with them afterwards. There are advantages and disadvantages to each. We tend to favour untethered ones. It's a tidier look. You haven't got the problem with having to hang cables anywhere. You haven't got problems with cables getting damaged. The only downside really is that if that person hasn't got their charging cable with them, then they'll be a little bit stuck to use your system. The last thing, which is probably the most important one, is payments for your electricity and for usage. Obviously, you probably do not want to give away your electricity for free with the way prices are at the moment. So there are several ways of working it. If it's your workplace and it's regular people using it, you could go for a simple system of just having either a key code or a card or an RFID tag, which people scan on the charger, and then it just logs what they use, and then you could go in and then manually work out, put that into a spreadsheet, manually work it out and charge that person for the kilowatt hours that they've used. However, what we tend to find is most people want a hands-off solution. They just want the chargers in, they just want them to run, and they just want to see the money come into the account. So to do that, there are 2 ways of doing it. You could manage it yourself with a payment system, or what a lot of our clients favour is actually having a third party that deals with it. There are a lot of advantages to a third party. You haven't got to deal with the administration of it. You haven't got the additional issues of having to meet regulations around taking people's card details and payment details and so on. So actually it's a much better solution. So usually for a small monthly fee, you can have a third party who will manage the whole payment system for you. In terms of the end user, it's quite simple. All they need to do is when they go up to the charging point like this one here, there'll be an app that it'll ask them to download. Most people that run EVs are used to having several apps on their phone for payments. So they'll just log into the app, they'll put their card details in, they'll go to start charging via the app. And once the charging is finished, it will tell them how much it's cost them. the third-party company will collect that payment for you, and then you'll get paid back. You can decide what you want to bill for the hourly kilowatt hour rate, and then you just see the payments coming in. Hope this video is helpful. If you want any advice from us on EV chargers, commercial systems, just get in touch.